What's up, everybody? This is Thomas Elms. I'm a financial advisor over with LPL Financial. Got my co-host here, Kyle Ryan. He's an advisor with Cetera Advisors. Kyle and I met over LinkedIn here, ironically enough, last year, and we were kind of sharing strategies, talking about the CFP, and we were just really thinking about a great way to maybe share our strategies with others. And so kind of we wanted to get a podcast like this going. It's called Fresh Finance. Reason for the title is we're young financial advisors. We feel like we might be deploying some new strategies that kind of aren't the normal brick and mortar ideas that are out there. And we just wanted to find a good medium that we could kind of get that possible information out to people that might be interested in listening. So, this is going to be the place that we're going to talk ideas, talk strategies, talk markets, maybe do some reviews of things we'll talk about later. But Kyle, just kind of getting started here. One of the main things that you and I really started to connect and bond over last year was that you and I are kind of some of the younger CFPs that are out there. So, I'd really just for the viewers and even just for myself, would love to just kind of hear what your perspective is on the CFP, why you wanted to get it so young, and how you think it's important in helping clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the intro, Tom. I'm really excited to be here on the podcast. Really excited to start off Fresh Finance. And one thing that I think really propelled us to do this as young certified financial planners is that we can really offer a fresh perspective that isn't really out there. There's a lot of financial information out there. You can go anywhere under the sun and get financial advice, which is wonderful that it's so applicable, but we really want to be a resource that you can kind of be able to tread through some of the bad material out there. Not everything is sound advice. And what we want to do is provide a more objective and reasonable approach to how one can go about their finances.
Yeah. And I feel the exact same way is the depth and the breadth that the certified financial planner designation really covers. I think it's so important in order to be like a well-rounded advisor, somebody that can provide value in a lot of different areas. Which I think is kind of the base of what our job and our position looks like for people. It's just so important, and I really love how you hit on where financial advice and where financial information is today. You look back 20, 30, 40 years ago, it was a lot harder to research ETFs, research stocks, look at how to maybe start a financial plan, and there's a lot of people out there that do it themselves and they do a pretty good job, but I think that there's always really going to be a place for us because there's a lot of people who are sounding a voice and are ironically popular, but have no actual certification, credential, experience, or knowledge in dealing in these types of topics with other people, which I think is super important.
Absolutely. And historically, going back 20, 30 years ago, financial advisors don't have the best rep. It's like almost a used car salesman because there wasn't a lot of regulation in the industry not too long ago. And it was kind of the call it what you want, but kind of the boys club because you had to have a high net worth. You had to get your own stockbroker. It's something that very newly a lot of people are becoming interested in, which is really fantastic. And that's why we think it's incredibly important to get in front of people as much as we can because we have the certifications and we've gone through the processes that give others the ability to trust that we have the educational background. We have gotten the certified financial planning degree, which is, the best one you can get in terms of our industry, in terms of financial planning, because it really, like you said, it's a mile wide and a foot deep because we have to just understand how so many different things correlate with one another. And, no one really plans to fail. A lot of people fail to plan. And one thing that we can do is just bring awareness to the idea that it's never too early to start. And when you do start, just try and do it in the most efficient way possible for you.
Yeah. And it's never too late to start either. And we could, I'm sure you and I could talk days on end on situations where we might have had a client start to plan late. And, if you do it the correct way, you can really allow them to catch up. And one of the other things I wanted to hit, this is kind of an introductory video to this, but, some of the things that we're going to be covering, and just kind of laying that out there. What I'm really excited about is diving into the individual planning topics within the certified financial planner world, cash flow planning, tax planning, insurance and investment planning, estate planning, some of those pieces that most people, if they're just doing their own investment management, aren't covering, or maybe haven't necessarily done a lot of deep thinking about. I'm super excited to kind of go into that with you, and then maybe doing some reviews of maybe some YouTube videos that we come across, TikTok videos, Instagram videos, where it's not necessarily a video where we're just degrading somebody, but we really want to make sure that if popular videos are coming out, viral videos are coming out, and people are watching them, that they understand from a professional's perspective what we think on that advice. Because we've kind of gotten in this age where if it's on social media, it's true, or if it's on social media, it's great advice. And I think that for us to be able to you and I to watch those videos, to take pause and kind of reflect on what these people are saying, because I'm sure there's a lot of videos out there where the overwhelming majority of that conversation, they're correct. Not everybody that's putting stuff out there is wrong, but I think that there definitely are some people that might be misleading in a couple of directions, or they might be thinking kind of single-mindedly, but I'm really excited about that.
And you get exactly into what I believe is the most valuable component of working with a financial advisor, and specifically a CFP, because you develop a relationship. A lot of the advice out there, we don't live in a black and white world. One thing doesn't suit all, right? So Roth IRA, for example, a lot of people have been hearing a Roth IRA talk. While a Roth might be advisable and the best option for a lot of people, just because you read it online doesn't mean it might be the best thing for you. So there's a lot of, I get it all the time, questions from clients, prospects. Hey, my neighbor did this. I believe I should too, even though that their financial circumstances may be different in a way that may not be the best option for them. So really having, the relationship and understanding where you are in life, and us being able to pick apart, what is really good advice and where you have to be careful and kind of navigate your own way through it, or work with a financial advisor to find that information is kind of the goal of what we want to do. And we're going to be covering a lot of different topics, so like Tom, you very briefly went into a lot of different areas that we can jump into, whether it's planning for a 30-year-old and the prioritization of saving for retirement, or on the flip end, getting ready for retirement. Do I have enough? Is that the right question to ask? Are you spending too much? It's little ways to tweak one's thinking to help them, succeed in the long run.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that Roth IRA piece is so important, because and this isn't scripted, but when you said that, I started thinking, a Roth, somebody in their 30s, right? So we want to take a look. Hey, is this the best move for you based off of your current income situation? Is it the best move for you based off of your retirement income situation? How does that play into your estate plan? How is that going to affect the taxability of your Social Security? Those are kind of the conversations I feel like, we're definitely going to have, that most people, and you kind of said it there, it's like a one-sided conversation, is, should I set up a Roth IRA? Well, there's actually a lot of different avenues that, people like us will go down and ask questions about to make sure that that's actually the right move. Should I do all Roth, all traditional, maybe a mix of both? Kind of having that conversation, I think is going to be super important, super valuable. And then we're just going to talk about the markets too. Whenever we're shooting this, it's going to be talking about what's going on in the market, what's going on with the Fed. I think that kind of, a nice little dive into this right now is we're seeing a really interesting time in the markets. A huge sell-off in a lot of big asset classes, over the past couple of months, and we're seeing a little bit of a rebound this week. It's just kind of things like that. How do interest rates affect equity portfolios? How do interest rates affect bonds? Having those types of conversations, I think they're going to be fun for us, but I also think they're going to be really educational for people that are watching.
Yeah, I'm excited for it all because, a lot of things is you see something in the headline, inflation, interest rates are rising. A lot of people, they either don't care, don't really know what it means, and don't want to put the effort into learning it, which is perfectly fine. That's what we have jobs for, right? So we can better explain that. So that's kind of what we're excited about with the podcast, is taking things and putting into a way with which, people can understand and appreciate and apply in their own financial lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, great first episode. Super excited, Kyle. I'm looking forward to starting to get into more of the depth of the material here in the following episodes. So thanks, guys, for watching. Really appreciate all your time, and looking forward to getting this going with you, Kyle.
Yep. Likewise, Tom. Thanks, everyone.